Yay!
And we are coming back to you guys on what might be an easier map for the SK roster. Going over to Dust 2 now for our second map. It is still, of course, the Renegades taking them on, and after an upset like that, well, we may not even know what's going to happen here on the second map.
I think after an upset on Nuke,
air quotes required, of course.
air quotes because, you know, SK is not at full strength and it's Nuke. Anything can happen on Nuke. That's why I was so excited to cast it. I felt we were going to have an upset. They're over there like, oh, who knew? I knew. Dust 2, I mean, yesterday, SK very nearly fell in like a last-minute comeback from NRG, 16-14. They didn't look the most comfortable on Dust 2. So I'm thinking maybe Renegades has a shot here. They've always been a good Dust 2 team. Not that good. Not maybe good enough to beat SK with Fur. But maybe, just maybe, to make this one close.
The thing is, right, is I think a lot of what sort of threw them away on Dust yesterday was their CT side. And because of how varied, like, Energy was throwing the hits at them. Just like, because here's the thing, right, is when SK played on their T side, we were seeing a lot of, like, very direct cat hits. Whereas when Energy jumped on it, it was still, for the most part, A hits, but the way that they were doing it was different from round to round. Sometimes they would fake a mid to B split and then fall back and go for cat. Other times it would be that direct cat hit. Other times they would put out long pressure. It was a lot more varied, and for some reason, like, SK were really bad at trying to get that intel early in the round and communicate that properly, so they got overwhelmed a lot. And they either had to call, like, 3 or 4 saves in a row, or just were completely outmatched because of that.
You're not wrong. I think it was a lot of the win was circumstantial. But at the same time, the way Renegades has played Dust 2 since coming to America, it's very Stray in CS, is like they'll get a couple ops. Anybody who's like can afford it will get an op, and they'll like pick mid doors, and then they'll send the rest of the team B and just surprise, no flashes, just run into B. Like they run very scrimmy, quick strats sometimes on Dust 2, and I think if anything could catch SK off guard, it would be that kind of a style from Renegades. So we'll see.
Well,
I'm not counting my chickens just yet, boys.
We are getting started, guys. So let's jump into the map and take a look at things. Renegades will once again be starting off on the T side, and it'll be SK jumping onto the CT side. Lex, why don't you start us off?
All right. Pistol round coming out now. I'm going to do that thing again, Blue. Wow, pistol rounds are so important. Renegades are actually going to come to an empty long. Mid-aggression coming off from SK as Cold Zero and FNX are pushing up. They're going to catch... Actually, Ustilo might be hot to this idea coming out from them, but Fallen, the lone man over here at the CT spawn connector, and he drops Ricky before Ustilo, as I said, lurking top mid, drops Cold. So now they have the full A bomb site control, Renegades, and they're taking a duel over towards Cat. Ustilo is the late flanker coming to execute FNX. So now it's a 4-on-3 bomb planted. SK backs up against the wall here, desperately want this round. Ustilo will fall to Taka. Now it's a 3-on-3, doable for SK. Whether or not they can hit any shots at all, and as he's going for a boost, Showtime says, come here, get on my head, and Yam happily obliges. Jumps down and snags himself the extra cash. Well done, sir. And here we are, 1-0 Renegades.
So with that, obviously, Renegades get off to a hot start, and we'll be looking to build upon that now. We do see the counter investment coming in on the second round from the SK roster. 2 scouts to be seen on both Taco and Fawn, and... well, that's a bit unfortunate. I believe that was team damage that hit Showtime.
Here comes the B-rush from Renegades. Can Taco and Showtime hold?
Yeah.
They're going to do this so much this half, and it's going to work so much this half.
Yam and Blind, or Yam and JKS both partially blind while pushing into the site, but they still find those 2 kills. Coldzera does respond with his Deagle. But while moving back in, he doesn't spot the player just to the left at window, which allows Azur to grab an easy peek out to shut him down. 2 left alive now, and it looks like they're both running to save. At least keep those guns and the upgraded, or apologies, the upgraded pistols and armor in play for the trash rounds. You can keep it, but down goes the upgraded pistol, and now it's all fallen, and well, he just gets wrecked by a single bullet from JKS at range.
Yeah, and I know it was a super early prediction when it's not even the pistol round when I mentioned the B thing, but Showtime's playing over towards here with Taco, from what I can tell, and or if my memory serves, rather. And I just think, like, if you're going to exploit something in a game plan, perhaps making the new guy and picking on him is a great way to do it. So Renegades, again, heading towards these B tunnels. Doesn't look like they're committing yet. They expect some sort of a stack coming out from SK, but you still have the scout already out through mid, already out mid B. And Yam and Ricky are going to hold towards mid as Azar pushes into the site, finds the kill on a Taco. The B side is empty, and they're just going to go hunt with these MAC-10s. Don't want to be too audacious in this push, but doesn't quite matter. Just USPs. Ricky finding one on a fall after Ustilo is just farming over here with the MAC-10. Azar tries to push in and falls to FNX's USB, but quick 3-0 coming out from Renegades, and they have stacked quite a bank.
Not really seeing SK put up much of a fight, to be honest, but now their investment rolls in fairly usual, with the exception of Taco having to go for an SMG pickup. And also 2 FAMASas too, so favoring utility over the M4 gunpowder, and obviously no op. Money at this point is actually really crappy for the CTs, and obviously this scrap together buy won't even look that great in the grand scheme.
Yeah, Renegades quickly pushing towards this B-bomb site with Ricky and Ustilo. They're going to fish in for a pick with this op. Unfortunately, he burns, gives away his position, so he's going to bail out, knows that smoke's coming in. And again, trying to pressure B as much as they can. He's not going to move away quite yet. Ustilo will hold, and they're going to reset. JKS early on in this round, unfortunately, dumped his whole inventory along to try and draw a rotator out, but Zera's pushed all too aware of where the Renegades team is, back towards that CT spawn, and Fallen's not too far behind him. So a little worried about the mid B, probably after Renegades demonstrated that they're preferring that B bomb site over these first 3 rounds, but looks like it's going to be a late long execute coming out from Renegades as JKS, Azar, and Yam throw smokes over. And it's all FNX over here blind at this blue bin. Can he find one? And he will not. Azar will drop him, and now it's just falling through the smoke. Does get one onto Ricky, so that's a 4v3. And Ustilo, the ever-present lurker, finding one on a Taco. Nice kills from him, and they just need to stall, maybe head back towards B if they choose to. They know Taco's dead, so Showtime, faced with indecision, he's going to try and get some information at mid, and he's going to spot them. I believe he spotted them heading back towards T-spawn. I'm not quite sure, but he's going to, he's going to commit back towards B. And Cold probably is aware that Azar is still lurking over here, or the possibility that he may be able to, so he's going to find the kill on Azar, and now it's just Showtime. If he can get 2 kills here, this is doable, but Yam gets the better of him, just kind of walks into the B-bomb site, so quick and easy round here for Renegades. Just needed to take that late long control and find those 2 kills, and the whole round collapses for SK. So Cold going to trade that FAMAS out for an AK and push through the long doors as the Renegades go hunting. Ustilo towards CT spawn, Yam towards mid, and JKS looping all the way back towards T-spawn. Probably be the first one to find Cold. Going to try and get that AK-47 out of his hands, as they know the rest of the CTs are broken. They have the money to do it, so yeah, JKS spots him, but Cold Zera, one of the best, finds the headshot onto him.
And again, Cold still looking to save, but he does have Ustilo slowly creeping up on him from the long door. Smoked it off, but it's a pretty far out smoke, which would have given Ustilo room to creep, and we can see he's getting closer now. Slowly getting ready to push back out. Unfortunately, Ustilo himself is being rather passive about this. He doesn't want to risk losing his own gun, so he decides to fall back, and he'll let that 1 AK stay in the hands of Cold Zera for the next round here. But once more, SK's players, a lot of confidence pushing out to these more aggressive positions, and Renegades just reading it like a book. You can see it on the replays here, punishing it, and the entry is also very much on point. So they go 4-0, winning that first gun round. SK, still a fairly minimal investment in this one, and Ricky with a nice shot going through the wall. It brings Fallen down to 17 HP. SK will put 3 on that bomb site this time, but with Fallen already lit up here and the other 2 only having pistols in the site, definitely won't do a good job of trying to hold it if they go back. But you can see there too, we caught it off camera. Fallen responds with a scout shot, I think through the door, that absolutely destroys Ricky.
He may have been running and jumping at the same time, but just CSGO things. Fallen is like a wizard with the scout. I'm not even kidding. Like, you almost, the reason you hunt Cold there is because maybe you knock the AK out of his hands, and they opt to save. Instead, they buy scouts, they buy pistol, they buy armor. And now it's a 4v5, and they're creeping up catwalk looking for anything. And unfortunately, JKS made a little bit of noise coming out here long, so I think Cold knows that he's here. And the better of Fallen is had by Yam, and that's a huge kill, as Fallen is the last defense back towards A, and now it's just Cold stuck over at long. He's gonna get lurked on by JKS, and now it's pretty much round over at 4v2, and Taco and Showtime might opt to save the pistols that they have in hand, as this is going to be a double save here coming in for SK. Actually, they have a little bit of money on the board. Might opt to force into the next one. They are on full money bonus, so no reason not to, I imagine. Go get some exits, try and keep the Renegades' money low.
Was a fairly light buy here regardless, so we can see once more JKS moving his way out from long, already taking on the deagle, and Taco with just a P250 in armor, this isn't really much that's being saved. The biggest thing he's actually going to take away is the armor. But wrapping around the corner now, they spot him. Good response. Now he's got an AK in hand, but he is also being encroached upon. Didn't even realize that Yam had gotten into the B bomb site. That's going to take him out. And Renegades still pushing forward, of course, with us only seeing one gun round so far. This is where the big money investment continues to come in for SK. They will now go for the double up buy-up. Fallen gets armor and everything, so will Showtime. Interesting, by the way, they put it in Showtime stands, not Cold Zera, who we've normally been seeing pick it up.
Yep. They wanted it B, so, I mean, Ricky had this spawn. Of course he's going to go for this B pick. And Showtime, unbeknownst to Ricky, he's going to be there with the AWP, and he's not going to hit the shot. That's a deep Molotov. Traditionally, you want to keep it a little bit closer, but that does stave off the push from Ricky, and he's forced to fall back, reset with the rest of his team, who are spread across the map. Renegades just trying to see what they can do. And Ricky almost hits Taco through that smoke, and Taco answers with a quick M4 burst, and it dinks Ustillo. That's a lucky series of events for Taco, but nice way to start the round for SK. Cold Zera is going to be alone here. Pop flashes a little bit early. Azure doesn't get caught, and so he advances his position just a bit. Cold knows he's there. Yam's backing him up, but another pop flash coming in from B. That's beautiful teamwork out of the SK side. Those Brazilians are always so good about utilizing their flashes correctly, and one goes bad and the second one nails it. JKS actually coming out mid. Ricky pushing into the B bomb site. 2 kills quickly go their way, but Taco has had something really incredible plays coming out from him in the last map, and certainly this map as well, as he finds 2, making this a doable round for the retake. It's Fallen and FNX coming up quickly. Fallen gets mollied off actually and has to fall back down. Might opt to save, but you already see FNX pushing up through these tunnels, seeing if he can find anything on this bomb site. Yam at a very awkward angle to watch those tunnels, and JKS must peek from this closet area. Knows Fallen's there now, and FNX is pushing up through these tunnels. Fallen dancing around the window, not able to find one as JKS gets it, but he's going to get his 4th of the round. Finds one on FNX, and nice 4K close out there from JKS.
6-0 now. The Renegades continue to shut the members of SK down. And again, it's coming down to the fact that we can see Renegades getting such good map control early on here. SK can't hold the initial pushes back. They'll get themselves into that site. SK make a valiant attempt at a retake. It even comes down to a 1v1, but they cannot stay in it. With that, they get knocked out once again. More aggressive pressure coming out with Long this time, and Ustillo already doing some damage, layering it on. He does get tagged and finished off as well by Fallen there at Long, but a repeat from Yam. He connects a little bit of damage, and we see JKS, though, just ripping through the players at the tunnels. Overstays his welcome a bit, though. Showtime is actually going to grab that trade. Now the Renegades will just stack up at mid. They do have a 3-on-3 advantage, and only one gun has been picked up so far by FNX there towards Long. So long as they still shoot this towards B, they'll get that easy control. Unless Showtime, of course, pulls off Hero Play, which we're not expecting, considering he's now diving into the tunnels.
Yeah, he's got 36 HP and no armor. However, the fact that they're not quite sure, I'm sure they suspect that he's pushed through already, considering they went mid B. However, all 3 members of Renegades posted up now in post-plant positions, so FNX is going to jump around this box, see if he can find anything, and walking right past him is Yam, and he ends up killing Fallen, but FNX, they will trade it out quickly. I don't know if that was 4x3, but certainly that was just an awkward angle that he couldn't see. So Azure holding the door is going to find him. Ricky drops Showtime from the tunnels, and now it's 7-0. And there's that dominant B play that Renegades is just so good at on this map, is just spreading the map, finding some picks, and executing late round. And even though that was an eco coming out from SK, they made it a little bit close. Renegades still capitalized. Outsmarting SK once again. This is 7-0, commanding lead coming out from Renegades.
This is the one good thing, is that they are keeping the money rather low. Even on eco rounds, they're impacting with somewhere between 2 and 4 kills, so it keeps the Renegades right around having enough cash for 1 rebuy and maybe another force up with a rifle after that. So now we're at the beginning of this round. Again, we see that over-aggression, that confidence from SK, that while it kind of makes sense for it to be there in this matchup, it still needs to be restrained after 7 rounds straight of this. And oh, what was Azure doing? Either
Do I say it?
Go ahead.
1G.
1G is indeed.
Sorry, it's like, a tick.
It seemed like he wanted to pull out a smoke, but again, look at this. They're just walking right up. This is a gun round. This isn't an eco round. Yam is punishing them so easily. They don't even see that he pushes up there, and after that first kill, there's literally no response. It's on Taco and Showtime. Showtime still has to rotate over, and they've got players in mid watching for that rotate specifically. Yeah,
quite frankly, this entire half has been Renegade's dominance, so SK is just looking like, how can we break their default? How can we get an entry? And Fallen just on that wide peak. I I wonder if he thought he had support or just timed it incorrectly. Az was able to just walk up onto that lower box and pop him once in the head.
Oh no, Showtime.
He's not going to get away with this op, I don't imagine, but this is the actually, he did hit the shot, actually.
Yeah, and he got away for now.
I didn't even notice that. I'm just like, and he's dead. 100% dead.
Ustilo is on the way for the tunnels, though, and that's going to be his doom. So he gets knocked out. No save. Believe the teaser retrieved it. They had one already anyway. Maybe they just don't want to run a double, but there you go. Bit unfortunate for Azur here. I think he tried to pull out a smoke and then realized he didn't have one. Either that or a teammate said he would throw a smoke, and then he never did.
I have a feeling it was just like some quick switch issues or something. I mean, he might not have had a smoke when he thought he did, but I mean, the Molotov spread. As soon as I saw it, I knew he was going to burn. I just thought he had a plan for it. Unfortunately, he did not. So, a little bit embarrassing. Unfortunately, the stream did catch that. However, made up for it with a nice entry. And Azur actually, speaking of which, finds the aggression in upper B tunnels. SK again trying to aggress, trying to do anything to stop the train that is coming out from Renegades. Straight out of Detroit City, boys. And Azur does fall to Taco. Didn't know that he had aggressed that far, but the mid-B split is already on. They're aggressing towards that B-bomb site. JKS finds one at FNX, the last bastion of hope. This B-bomb site, and Taco opened upper dark. Falls to Ustilo, now it's Cold and Fallen. Looking for anything. And Fallen actually pushes lower with this Mag 7, hoping to find a close quarters combat battle with Ustilo. And he finds it, but not where he thought he would.
And now things are just getting sloppy from SK. 2 of the kills in this round have been because they've leaped around corners without their guns out yet, so you can see Cold moving up at the very least, trying to escape with his AK that's now retrieved off of Ustilo, but things are starting to get a bit rough here. As they continue to throw that aggression out there, you can see that as you've already mentioned that, but they're not even fully covering this. There was nobody watching for the lower push. When they initially pushed into the tunnels, they had a guy watching out in the T courtyard for whatever reason. We're trying to see if someone's stuck behind since they've been doing it so often, but it wasn't the case at all. And they get wrecked by the guy that pushes lower because of that. The gun is not saved. Finally, we see a pause coming in, but this is still fairly late in the half. 0-9 now.
It's definitely late. I mean, just considering the bank's already been built for Renegades, but I feel like SK just threw everything that they had over and over again and nothing worked out. And the curious thing is I mean, the Australian teams traditionally are incredible Dust 2 teams. Like Dust 2 and Cash are their home maps. And Renegades has always been dominant on it. But, I mean, I feel like Fallen and the SK squad are just getting read so well every round. I mean, it's not even necessarily like a strat call that's being made. They just find a pick. They lose a player on a different side of the map. They know they're pushed up or B. You know, we watched Azur get that initial kill and then fall to Taco. So JKS, without even getting a smoke, just runs out, takes the fight, and immediately finds the battle with FNX. And they were able to capitalize on that. There's nobody left. Fallen and Cold on the other side of the map. And it's like every round is a similar situation where the defense has been split, the picks have already been made, and there's nothing left for SK to do but retake. And if the retakes don't go your way, it's 9-0.
And because at this point, too, because SK just keep throwing aggression at them, Renegades can just sit back and play to that mid default almost every single round.
They don't
just
need
wait
to do
for
anything.
it. Wait for someone to either push tunnels or push from Cat, and then, all right, well, we've got 1 or 2 on them, and now we can just do a mid to B split.
And I think this is about to go live, but I wonder what SK can do here. It looks like they've got pistols on the board, some armor, and that's about it. But hope to win an eco, I guess, is a start.
So we will get into it, and as Lex just said there, it's just an upgraded pistol round. Taco and Cold are able to get armor on the board. Ricky again looking for the shots on cross. It's only hit really 1 or 2 of those so far in the half, but still having the effect of, at the very least, keeping SK from peeking the doorway. There's Taco, though, finding one as he goes for a wild peek in the tunnel door. And finally, Rex Ustilo, as they're going to push out, gets that first kill. Very quickly retreats. He's almost blocked by a teammate, but he does get out of there with 2 HP. And now Yam peeking out, doing some more damage. Cannot execute Taco just yet. Another one's moving up. Fallen's going to push him, but he doesn't check his back. Azur holding close to the Xbox, grabs Fallen with only 2 HP.
Yeah, and they're just continuously pushing this mid doors, forcing Renegades to fight, and finally Azur falls, but he's going to be all for naught. Actually, Showtime's going to get another one, and suddenly this is a 2-on-1, a doable situation. He even has a kit. So, despite not having armor, he seems well-equipped for this situation. JKS already all the way back towards the long doors. Ricky scoped into that A-ramp area, is going to find him in just a second if Showtime is not careful. And I believe Showtime spotted him there, so Ricky needs to be a little wary of the fact that he could lose this AWP and Showtime could save it. Nonetheless, JKS does have his back from long. He's going to grab Showtime, and now it's 10-0. I don't mean to speak too soon, but when it's 10-0 at this point and nothing has worked for your CT side, I just don't see Renegades being able to lose this. Like you said, they don't really have to do much, right? They just got to sit back, wait for the aggression from SK, and see what pushes they're going to throw at him, because the default ain't working.
This is going to be the first real test to see if they like finally pulled back and play a bit more passively. I can understand them still continuing it on the eco round just for the pure raw surprise of it, but there we go. It's still there. It works out this time, though. For the first time in quite a while, we actually see SK grab that. Fallen gets to the angle first, waiting for Yam on the pick, or on the peak, I should say, and very quickly will punish that.
Yeah, I think Fallen, literally, that was a little bit of luck, because Renegades really hasn't pressed long without having a read first, as in when they know that they're playing long, they go up cat. And the one round that they went out long and crossed long, I believe, was an anti-eco round anyway, and nobody was playing there from SK. So, interesting enough, Ustilla has already pushed into the B bomb site and tried to use that lurk smoke to get in, but Taco finds him, and he's getting walled through that box. He's got to make a move here in a second. That Molotov comes in, and he's joined by Showtime, so he's not completely alone here. And Azur's already crossed cat and has already taken the gunfight with Fallen and finds it. That's twice now we've seen Fallen get outshot by a rifle, and a Ricky with a nice 180 shot on a FNX. I almost called him a finesse. That would have been awkward. 3v2 now. Hujan is not in the server. Azur drops cold, and this is getting more dire for SK by the second. Ricky only has 4 HP. Winnable situation, but definitely an awkward spot to be retaking from with an AWP as Showtime creeps up with his teammate Taco through CT. And they need a round win here. They need to keep both these guns if possible, because they don't have a lot of money, but round bonus be damned. They're going to go for it, and Ricky's going to find him. 2v1 now, and it's just Showtime in a 1v2. He does have a kit. Go to Molotov AZR off, but Ricky finds him. Nice kills from Ricky to bring this round back for Renegades.
Ricky grabbing 2 of those kills with only 4 of the HP 2 at the end, so unfortunate that Cold kind of flubs the push he has up towards elevator there, as that position could have been used really great just to, at the very least, keep Renegades in positions that they were right when they put the bomb on the ground, but he kind of reveals himself a bit too soon, or the Renegades spot him, and the final 2 are too slow to rotate over from the B-bomb site, so comes down to this situation, and again, they're both stuck together, so when they push back out, it's very poorly traded, but we get into the action, and that's a freaking awesome double peek at doorway.
They didn't even flash over. They just went out silently, took their spawns, and pushed, and I feel like Fallen had its knife out, and FNX was just late to the corner, and it was just a gunfight that went in the favor of Ustilla and Azur. So now it's a 5v3. You're down 11-0. Is the 16-0 dream real, Blue?
You just jinxed it.
No.
They're definitely going to win. They're definitely going to win like the
anything.
13th round now, because you just said that.
Blue, life is all about choices, and if Renegades choose to not make mistakes, this is a 16-0.
Essentially,
there's no such thing as a jinx.
If SK now win a round, everybody tweet at LexWFX and say it's your fault.
That's how we do it, boys. That's how we plug our Twitters in 2016, by throwing out casters' curses. So I'm going to do that from now on. That said, Showtime 1v5. Promise and a dream. Can even get this kill into Yam. Does. 4v1 now. Interesting thing about that long plays, as I had just the round before mentioned that Renegades has taken this incredibly spawn-based, right? They play towards B, they're going for a pick at B. They play towards, you know, nothing, they go cat. They play towards long. They've taken the long picks a couple times before, but Fallen has been at cat. He's been at mid doors. They've had the op pretty much over towards CT spawn half the time anyway. So the fact that he's gone towards long, found some success in the previous round, and then goes there again and gets punished, it's like you have no answer as SK at this point. You just have nothing. You just hit your shots, boys. That's like what you tell your team as an in-game leader right now, because your aggression hasn't worked. Playing passive hasn't worked. Maybe shotguns will work, Blue.
And we'll see Taco on the boost up here, grabbing the first one, dropping down, brings another player into 2 HP, but JKS also dispatching him. Taco grabs another one, but it's JKS from the jump down. And finally takes out Taco. Look at Yam, though, just flanking behind these players. Azur peeking up for the door, takes care of the player to his right, and tap it away for Yam. Finishes off Fallen.
Man.
It's a 13th round for the Renegades. And you know that tweet that just popped up on stream actually makes a really good point. I completely forgot about this. One of the last time these guys played in a LAN match was at the iBuyPower Invitational, like last November.
I was there.
And this is when Renegades got 16-0'd. And this was like right after Sponge had that like speech too. That was like, oh, we're a better team than that.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
literally
When
this, like 10 minutes later, they
Sponge,
get 16-0'd.
I remember. That is,
And they're about to do it to them.
wow.
Revenge.
Yeah, see, if I say it, it's not a jinx, but if you say it...
You said it first, so I'm clear of
so you're
conscience now.
absolved? I don't care.
It's already
if
jinxed
these guys
by
lose
you,
a
so
round,
if it's bound to be
whatever.
jinxed, it's already
this
your
match
fault.
is essentially over. 13-0. I don't care
in
what
before
god you pray
comeback now.
to, like what meme lord you submit all your gifts to. Frankly, this match is done. It is over. It's 13-0. Renegades cannot screw this up. And I don't care if CSK has this massive comeback and you're like, oh, Lex, oh, you jinxed it. Sorry. Doesn't happen in this world, ever.
It's definitely going to get jinxed now.
I hate that word, jinx. It's such an ugly word. It's a tinny word. I don't like it. Taco pushing upper. Gotta find one. No trade coming in from JKS. This actually might be the first round win. I think Taco could do this. Do you have faith?
It's kind of there. But he gets mollied out.
Renegades.
He's smart about it, though, as he realizes.
They want the 16-0. They're like, let him go. Let him be free.
And there's Taco again. Rings it even now. That's the bomb going down, too.
Yeah, this is
the
the round
jinx.
win. It's not a jinx. I want
That's where it
SK to do well.
Oh, hold on. Showtime's now the last one. He's got a pretty bad position, too, but they don't... What are you looking at, Showtime? They weren't even on the site yet. Obviously, he doesn't necessarily know that, but still, Azur pushing out from Cat.
Chat, I want you to spam 16-0 in chat. Just spam it. Give them your power. Do it. You can't see me right now, but my arms are outstretched. With our arms wide open. 14-0 Renegades. 5-8 OUPs. This is what I was talking about. The firing squad, man.
And it hits Taco.
I've played
There we go.
Renegades way too many times in this map to not know what they do.
That's just the tilt factor. I was amazed they didn't do autos, to be honest.
Well, the thing is, they gotta throw them all over the wall now because I guarantee you, SK's gonna be like, ooh.
Yeah, but it's
big
15th
greens
round.
spawn. So?
Doesn't matter.
It's not about saving. They just want. These guys,
Yeah, but like
these guys
that's
have
such a
UMPs and Mag 7s.
You
and
gotta
they're
go
down
all the way
14-0.
across the map to get them, and then you gotta use them to retake.
I'm knife out through long right here looking for Yam if I'm Showtime. That's all I'm saying. And again, like this is the Renegades play. They're like, okay, we have the entry. We're gonna go B. And you know, we'll throw some stuff over here. Yam will sit at T-spawn, and but we're gonna go B.
They're taking their time with it too. Again, they've realized at this point, I mean, SK have really kind of waned away from the aggression, but they're still trying to do it every once in a while, which is, I believe, the reason they're still sitting in the tunnels for a few extra seconds. Taco going to be waiting outside. Got the shotgun. He's on that right side, so may not initially get checked. The flashbang, though, and scratch that, does get checked. Coldzera does deny the mid pressure from Azur, but then Yam strikes right back. Eliminates FNX. In comes Coldzera. Again, he's only going to find one, and that won't work at this point of the game.
You're about 30 seconds late, dog. But there it is. Finds the kill. Able to get himself an AWP. That's the last round. Yeah, they didn't even throw him over the fence. They were just so confident. They're like, you're not.
He doesn't even pick it up. He just sits with the AK anyway. And he gets wrecked.
Doesn't even matter. Okay,
So
ESL
Lex.
just tweeted me, everyone blame Lex to VFX.
15-0 will be the scoreline. Will it be a 16-0? You guys have to sit and wait because we are going to go to a short break. So be sure to stick around. And we'll be returning to you in just a few moments with the possible very quick conclusion of Renegades versus SK.
He's gonna get the one kill in that bomb incoming onto the side. FNX has to stay up. No! He gets the triple FNX! Oh my god, what a way to win that round! They don't have a smoke, so this over still.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, Mountain Dew, and ESEA.
We are back, and we are about to find out if we will have, I think it would be our first 16-0 of the season. Renegades currently 15-0 against SK on Dust 2.
Feels bad, man. Feels kind. I mean,
Must feel
seriously,
amazing,
like,
man, for the Australians.
I knew I was being all edgy with like I think I was playing it real safe. You know, didn't have the you know what to go out and say that this could be an upset. You know, when I said it could be an upset for Renegades, I'm being like, it's probably not. But
You can say balls, by the way, on stream.
you could say balls.
Yeah. Eric's already done it like 4 times, so
Well,
he hasn't been yelled at yet, as far as I'm aware.
Eric is Eric. Okay, I see him over there. He's laughing. Yeah,
It's a pretty consistent topic he brings up, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it's 15-0. We're about to go live the pistol round. I can't wait for SK to win this pistol, and everybody's going to hate me. That's fine.
Tweets will come in very quickly. Remember, guys.
I don't want this to be over because I don't want to be done
Lex
casting, but
WFX.
whatever.
Oh, yeah, that is true. This is the only game you're casting today.
Yep.
You're back on the desk.
Feels even worse.
You're over there with Tom.
I don't
Anyway,
want to be anywhere near Tom.
let's figure out if this is actually going to be a shutdown, because we do have a problem for Renegades right from the get-go, is that SK just went for a 4-man long push, and they tried to go fast.
Yes!
What? Doesn't matter, though. JKS, I think from CT and mid. There we go. 2 now. 3 more to go, and they've got it. FNX responds, but Ustilo with the trade. Can they get revenge? Out they go, the mid-crunch. It's all on Fallen now in a 1v4. He's got to try to close this out. As we're down at 2 HP.
16-0. 16-0.
Look at Fallen. He goes down, and that's it, boys. It's a 16-0. The Renegades will close out here on Dust 2. And not only that, but they're going to 2-0 against SK, counting in that nuke victory just under an hour ago.
3-2-1-0. It's over.
Holy crap. That's double revenge as well. Someone tweeted me it actually happened twice against them, that they've been 16-0'd. So, with that,
I'm immune.
vengeance. You are immune. That's actually the first time I've seen like a caster curse thing not happen.
It's not a caster curse, man. It's caster's blessing.
I mean, you're not necessarily
what
like
I say is gold.
You're not necessarily like a caster yet. Like you're still like
I'm
on
just
the,
a guy. I don't know what I'm doing here, but
your
I'm getting
role
it
is
right.
indeterminate at the moment.
Because 16-0.
It happened.
16-0, boys.
And to talk about what
Feels
exactly just went wrong with that match, let's head over to the Bears and Tom. Guys, what just happened?
Holy shrimp on the Barbie, man. That was a crazy, crazy 16-0. I was not expecting that at all. Did I say 2-0 SK? I meant 2-0 Renegades.
I'm dumbfounded right now. It looked like they did watch SK on Dust 2. I mean, it didn't matter what they were doing. They could probably walk in backwards and still somehow win the round. I mean, 16-0 against SK, I don't know what to say. Like, it's unbelievable, to be honest.
It's just such a momentum game. Renegades carrying their momentum over from the previous win. They had to be feeling super good. And JKS, again, round 6, the dude is going to clutch it. When is he not going to clutch it? Today he's playing out of his mind.
He's out of his mind. As you kind of see right here, they know that Cold Zero is playing in CT spawn, and they know it. They waited for him, and then they just take it out in an easy B split. If you watched against last night against SK, there was a lot of A hits, but in this match, Team Renegades was just hitting that B. They were loving that B bomb site, and I loved it too. I mean, they were just destroying SK in every way.
Yeah, and the thing is they were, just like Lex was saying in the cast, kind of picking on B, and they're like, hey, let's think about where they're going to go, where's Showtime going to go, where's Taco going to go, and let's try to exploit that. But JKS, let's pull up his stats. Let's look at his stats. 22-3. What an absolute monster. Is there a name for that? Because usually we say like quadruple positive, but what's times 7?
I don't want to do math on stream, but I'm just telling you that he...
7-tuple.
He played amazing. He played so well in both matches. I mean, the whole team played awesome, and it's just hard to always put on one person and a one like 16-0. But I mean, 22-3, that's impressive, especially against the #1 team in the world.
And that's the thing. We're talking about, SK again. Yeah, obviously they don't have Fur and they have Showtime instead. But when you're the #1 team, people are going to be playing against you, wanting to win more than against anybody else. You're going to get their best every single time. So you have to be bringing your A game, and it looked like they were bringing their, D or F game.
Yeah, and especially a team like Team Renegades, who has a chip on their shoulder, because they did get 16-0 last time against, or as Luminosity was their name last time. But I'm sure they're feeling pretty good right now after that win.
Yeah, and SK tried to call a timeout. I think it was before round 10 they called the timeout, but round 11 was the opportunity for them to buy, and they had a good 4-on-2 opportunity, as you can see here.
Yeah, it was. I thought SK was going to win this round. It was a 4-on-2, and then Ricky just hits a nice 180, and then Cold Zero's kind of peeking out of position, maybe getting a little sloppy. and just after here, it just falls apart. Even with 4 HP, he managed to get another kill on SK.
Yeah, everyone from Renegades just playing so ballsy. We're talking about how Ricky maybe should be back towards the barrels or something like that, but he's just taking this angle knowing that this is coming from them, and you could just see working with AZR perfectly, so they're pinching the angles, getting the high ground if they need it, and look at that, perfectly timed to go behind the wall, and now Showtime's caught with his pants down.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a random spot to be in a 2-on-2, and you don't know where SK is coming from. I mean, I just see them running out with their knives and just hopping around like nobody's business. Like, they had absolute confidence. They always knew where SK was on the map. It's like they weren't surprised. They're hitting shots. They're checking every corner that SK's in. It was truly like everything aligned perfectly, and they got to 16-0 because of that.
Yeah, 16-0 indeed. So when it's all said and done, that's going to put SK Gaming at 2-4, and a huge win for Renegades. They came in here 1-5. They're going to walk away with this 3-5. So
impressive.
Very, very impressive, guys. So I want to give a shout out to theScoreEsports.com. It's the best place for news and stats. Take out your phone, go on your iOS device or your Android device, go to the Google Play App Store and check it out. And don't go anywhere. We're going to have the next match of the day. That's going to be Winter Fox taking on Energy Esports.